Round one of EuroNASCAR 2 2023 gets underway now, and we are racing. It's a good start by the looks of it from Siortsis, so Alberto Nascar's fears unwarranted. A good start from the number 5. He will lead into the first corner. Second place is going to go to Alberto Nascar in the 54. Dufro trying to hold on around the outside for third place there. He's got Claudio, in fact no, he's got Gil Linster for company. Is that Linster up into third place? It could be one of the others. But everyone trying to find a space through turn 2, and I think everyone has just about succeeded. Holding on to third place ultimately around the outside was Paul Dufro. Fourth place for Claudio Remeggio Capelli, so he's gotten back past Gil Linster. And Linster now losing out potentially to Patrick Schober, the Austrian driver, trying to find his way through. Romagnoli trying to get involved in that as well. Everyone through the first sector then without too much problem, and Max Mason confirmed as a non-starter sadly, but we hope to see him out tomorrow. Martin Dubeck up the inside of Riccardo Romagnoli, so the 2021 EuroNASCAR 2 champion working his way up through the top 10 now. He'll be keen this year to try and stamp his authority on the 2023 season if he possibly can. I think he had some misfortune and a couple of errors in 2022, which he'll be looking to rectify in the 2023 season. See if we can work that out through the second sector splits. See who fails to come through in position. Dubeck having a look at Patrick Schober. Not quite able to find a way by at turn 11. Some of the drivers really do stray wide going through that section at 12 and into 13. It looks to me as if it was Teufel in the 34 car who spun off in the back of shot at turn 6 on this lap. So potentially Teufel who had a moment there, and also being alerted to the fact that we've had a particularly good start from the driver of the number 48. So a very good start indeed from Jack Davidson, the British rookie, up into 9th place after that first lap, and remains in 9th on lap number 2. So Davidson with a lightning fast start as Martin Dubeck dives up the inside, just about gets the car stopped, but can't quite make the apex. So the 27 car goes sidling back through. Patrick Schober sees the door open up for him again and retains his position. Nice driving from both parties. Dubeck, though, be disappointed that he didn't get that car stopped on the apex as intended. Gets the power down to try and maybe go for it again at turn 6. Not quite close enough. Dubeck's always been strong when it comes to race pace. He's picking his way through the order. The number 7 car is in 7th, and certainly a top 5 not out of the question. But Patrick Schober is going to be a very, very worthy adversary. That much is for certain. We've seen a little bit of what Schober can do in EuroNASCAR. He's also a Formula 4 champion in Austria in the Central European ESET Series and the Drexler Formula 4 Cup in 2021. He had a season of Formula 4 racing that went very, very well for him indeed. And a young talent moving into tin tops, as it were, moving into stock cars, and has certainly been impressive. We had one car off in the back of shot there. It looked to me like it might have been Kenko Miura going through the gravel. Meanwhile, we check in with the battle for 6th place. Patrick Schober has still not given an inch to Martin Dubeck. Dubeck has a very prolonged look to the inside, and then kind of had to fight the car a bit to go back to the outside line while under braking. Just about managed to execute that. But a very exaggerated move to the inside there going into turn 2. And Casso in 18th position. I think Dario may have allowed Davidson back past. Car 8, 10-second penalty. I think that's car 9 it will be. Of course, Dario Casso, unhelpfully, is running car number 8 in EuroNASCAR Pro. Martin Dubeck still trying to find a way around the number 27 car. Dubeck diving up the inside, nicely done, well executed into the final corner by Martin Dubeck, but he's going to compromise his run out of the corner, and that's allowing Patrick Schober to immediately go back past. It's also worth noticing that 65 car, Riccardo Romagnoli, is not far behind at all. And just about staying in the wheel tracks there is Schober, but Dubeck once again has the inside line, and surely this time Martin Dubeck has done enough to claim his 6th position. Well, Patrick Schober's not giving up without a fight, is he? He's still got a quarter panel to the inside as they go into turn 4. Patrick Schober refuses to go down in this battle. Blow for blow stuff between the two drivers, and Patrick Schober is displaying the fact that he has an iron jaw. He gets knocked down, he gets knocked back up again. Patrick Schober continues to hold on to 6th position then. I'm just understanding that car number 8 actually did get a penalty, so he was the driver, Paolo Valeri. He helped out the 34 car into a spin earlier on. Of course, that was Turfel, who we saw in a spin on lap 1. So both of the Victor Motorsport cars may end up in trouble. The number 8 car with a 10-second penalty for avoidable contact. Of course, the number 9 car, Dario Casso, involved with that collision with Davidson. Remains to be seen whether that will be investigated. More than likely will be, though. In fact, it already is under investigation, so we'll see whether it gets penalised. Meanwhile, Patrick Schober certainly penalising the race of Martin Dubeck. I think Dubeck had aspirations of getting past Schober and trying for a top 5, if not a podium. So good decision from both parties, or rather good decision relating to both parties there. And they'll both drop down the order at the end of this race. But Vladimir Osiorz is in the number 5 car, 3.6 seconds clear of Alberto Nasca. We'll see if that gap goes out this time by. They should have just crossed the line. It has indeed gone out a little bit, 3.8 seconds. Not shy about breaking the fiberglass this evening, are they? There's been a little bit of argy-bargy up and down the order, and Dario Casso once again helps someone into some strife. We'll see what's judged there. Dubeck still trying to find a way around Patrick Schober. Incidentally, the two of them have somewhat dropped. Romagnoli behind, so Riccardo Romagnoli in 8th position is not quite able to keep up with this battle for 6th place. Patrick Schober still doing a wonderful job in the double V car of holding off Martin Dubeck. Dubeck, of course, racing for Hendrix Motorsports. Can he finally get away through this time? Looks like he might, yes. Has dived up the inside. You can see that Patrick Schober's got some loose bodywork as well, which might be losing him a mile an hour or so in a straight line. He's desperately trying to hold on as they collide into the braking zone. Both parties somehow keep the car somewhat in the right direction. Patrick Schober trying every which way he can to not give up the position, but I think he's finally going to have to yield. It's been valiant defensive driving from Patrick Schober over the course of this race. This battle has basically been going on from the start, and he's not done yet. He dives up the inside of Dubeck, and well, that was from quite a way back, and it was fairly executed, but I reckon Martin Dubeck says, okay, we're doing diving, are we? Okay, well, down into turn 8 he goes, and sure enough, he looks to the inside, but Patrick Schober carries it off. I get the feeling this battle is going to get more physical before a truce is called. And Dubeck tries to find a way around at 11 and try and get the power down early now to run towards turn 12. But once again, while I'm sure he's not preserving his rear tyres particularly effectively, Patrick Schober manages to find a way to keep his foot buried in the gas. and stay ahead of Martin Dubek for the time being. They've treated us to some sensational driving in this one. While all of this is going on, Vladimir Osiortsis continues to lead the race by 4.4 seconds, but Martin Dubek is going to have another look down into the first corner, isn't he? Once again, with slightly better straight line speed, he muscles Patrick Schober out of the way, but has he gone too quick into turn one? No, he keeps it nicely on the pavement. Will Schober retaliate now? Into turn two, tries to take the apex, does take the apex, lifts his own bonnet up even more than it already is in the process. Minor touch between the two of them. Now Schober last time into turn six, of course, fired right back at Martin Dubek. Surely he's not going to be afforded that opportunity a second time. The answer is no. Meanwhile, Dario Casso has received a 15-second penalty on top of his 10 seconds for a second avoidable collision, as they're still side by side in this battle for sixth position. Schober once again has P6. Nicely done by Patrick Schober. He got a better run out of six, was alongside by the kink at turn seven, and just when Dubek thinks he's gotten past the pesky young Austrian, that happens, and Schober again locks up massively. He is going to have not much tyre underneath him, I think, when we get to race two, but that's quite literally tomorrow's problem. For now, Patrick Schober is focused solely on this battle for sixth place. Of course, incidentally, while all of this is going on, it's allowing Riccardo Romagnoli to sneak up a little bit closer as well. And if I were Riccardo Romagnoli and I'd watched the last, I don't know, 12 laps of this battle across the 13 laps of the race, I'd be sat there thinking, I'm not convinced I'm not finishing in sixth with everything that's going on at this point in the race. Dubek again tries to go to the inside at turn one, but Patrick Schober covers him off nicely. Dubek, I think, giving him a little bit of a love tap through the first corner. Will Dubek dive to the inside at turn two? No. Schober gave off every intention that he'd cover it off if he tried. Your fastest lap of the race, and therefore most likely your pole sitter for tomorrow, with just over 3 laps, or just under 3 laps left to go, is Vladimir Osiortsis. So your pole sitter currently with the fastest lap, and the fastest laps determine the grid for Sunday. While I was talking you through that, Schober once again coming under threat from Martin Dubek in what has been a brilliant battle for sixth position. Romagnoli firmly involved in it now as well. Just one more instance of these two cars trying to go side by side, and Romagnoli is going to be firmly in the battle too. After a fairly disappointing beginning to his season in EuroNASCAR Pro, Romagnoli will be very keen to try and make a top 6 finish of this. He'll be equally keen to keep his nose clean after a couple of off-track excursions earlier in the day. Looking to the inside there momentarily was Martin Dubek, but couldn't quite get it done. His car seems to be stronger in a straight line. I suspect that's largely down to the damage on the number 27. So let's see if Schober can hold off Dubek this time as they go down the main straight. They begin the penultimate lap of the race, 5 miles between them and the flag. 8 kilometres if you prefer, and Dubek looks to the inside. Surely he's got it done. He's got the whole car alongside Schober, but Schober has a canny way of finding a way back past Dubek each and every time. Let's see if he dives into turn 2. No, holds his station for now. Dubek sometimes ends up drifting wide and just allowing Schober a method back through. Let's see if that happens again. I think at this point Dubek is surely out of patience and just wants to retain that position. He's going to be hyper focused on keeping that car where it needs to be, but there goes Patrick Schober again, and somehow they avoid each other. The door was firmly closed on Schober there by Dubek. Absolutely none of it being had by Martin Dubek at this stage. Got a car off track up ahead of them. Who was that off circuit? Was that Claudio Remeggio Capelli? Or potentially it was a yellow or orangey car, wasn't it? Has Capelli come through the second sector split? I'm watching my timing screen. I don't think he has. He hasn't. It's Claudio Remeggio Capelli who's gone off. Now remember, this car was reported as having brake issues from its driver in the pro race, Giorgio Maggi. So whether that's connected or whether Capelli's just made an independent error, I'm not certain. But what I do know is it's let go at the worst possible time for him. He will lose out on a 5th place finish. The battle between Dubeck and Schober is now for 5th position. So even more reason to scrap, although I feel it's some 4.6 seconds and looks set to be on pole position for the race on Sunday as well. Paul Dupro rounds out the podium in 3rd place ahead of Gil Linster. This is the battle for 5th place, and Martin Dubeck has done just about enough after battling Patrick Schober for 6th position all race long. That became 5th place after the late issue for Capelli, and Dubeck will cross the line in 5th. A solid start to his season. The 2021 EuroNASCAR 2 champion gets solid points on the board to begin 2023. Patrick Schober in 6th place, Riccardo Romagnoli in 7th. Nicely in that one, but here is a chat with the battle of the race, Andre.
Yeah, like in EuroNASCAR Pro, we had an amazing battle. We call it the battle of the race. We start with you. Just tell us, how intense was that?
10 laps fighting. I think that Patrick also enjoyed like me, and I think the NASCAR fans want to see some show. So I think that we showed them.
All right, what about your feelings?
Yeah, it was amazing battle with Martin. I'm really looking forward to more like these battles because I really enjoy it, and this was one of my intense battles. I mean, I can't even describe it. It was amazing. I mean, I couldn't hold him up anymore longer because my tires were already done, but it was amazing, yeah.
Question to you, both of you. We start again with you. Is this what we call respect? Is this a blueprint how to battle in EuroNASCAR?
I hope that it will be better. I wanted the podium, but I have to tell that I really enjoy this race. This is real racing, pure racing, and I really enjoy it. There was some contact, but I think that everything was clear, and we enjoyed both. And tomorrow I will fight for the podium, for sure.
You?
Yeah, I mean, if we don't crash each other out, then it's amazing racing. Also with the contact, I love that with the contact. I think this is racing. This is what NASCAR wants to see, and we also, as drivers, also enjoy it really.
Thank you so much, guys, for the amazing show.
Amazing show. I concur wholeheartedly, and good to see that both drivers on speaking and sporting terms after that. It was Dubeck on the left and Schober on the right in that conversation, and great to have them.